So why is the guitar so difficult to play? I think it might have to do with so many requirements as far as, knowing the chords, the fingering, the shape, the precision you need with your fretting hand, and then coordinating with your strumming hand, hitting the right string at the right time, all in time and coordinated. It's got to be, everything has to happen exactly at the right amount of time. It can be overwhelming, but don't worry, you're not alone. Uh, there's all kinds of people that would like to help you. I'm one of them. Let's just talk about what your fretting hand has to do to develop a gnarly, functional fretting hand. Well, one thing you probably know about is you have to get some calluses on those fingertips, and it is the very tip of the finger. It's kind of a flat, squarish surface, and that there's a lot of nerve endings there, and so you have to put a lot of pressure on that. It does feel uncomfortable. My guitar teacher, Mrs. Gunderson, or Marge, she said, just sit there with a pencil and jab it. And it's not a sharp pencil, but just, if you're bored and you're sitting there, just just toughen those up. She might have just made that up, but I thought it was kind of cool. But it does make you focus on those fingertips. Tips, tips, tips. The tip of the tip. So those fingers have to kind of curl around and get those notes. And your hand doesn't know how to do that if you're just starting. Or maybe you've been wrestling with this thing for a number of years. But think like a guitar player. What does a guitar player do? They often put their thumb on the back of the neck and then curl around and grab. So there's got to be some space. Let's see. Like space through here. Open, or negative space. You can't smash down. You have to open up your hand, and then you can arch them, kind of like spider legs coming down. And they have to move in a coordinated way. So you can just, let's say you're planning on playing the guitar. You might just maybe next month I'm going to start, but before you even start, you might just look at the guitar and plan how you're going to think and practice. You're going to put your thumb on the back, make that negative space, and just reach. And notice how you really can cover. My thumb's going to stay about the same place, but look how much I can cover. So thinking big with your hand, not just this, it seems my students are their fingers are glued together. You gotta whoa, really move them out. So just be ready. It's almost it reminds me of, the hand looks like a ballet dancer. It's just very graceful over time. It will get there, but think like that. Maybe you'll get there a little quicker. So when it comes to actually playing the thing, the classic old guitar lesson book, sight reading, whatever, Hal Leonard or Mel Bay, or the company I use is Progressive Series Book 1. They're having you E, F, G. So that's E is open. We love open strings. First fret is F. And you can just sit there and bounce that, feel it, F, F, F. Get good at F. Third fret is G. Now, if you're going to go back to F, you might just leave that finger in place. If you're brand new to guitar, that's going to actually be very difficult, even though it sounds ridiculously simple. I always say musically it is very simple, but physically it's challenging. So first string, E, F, G, memorize that today if you're going to play the guitar. Second string, B, C, D, exact same thing, just different notes. Open, first fret, third fret, B, C, D. and then you get into your third string G. This is where we're going to bring in middle finger. So you really want to assign the fingers. For now, first finger, first fret, second finger, second fret, third finger, third fret. Soon we'll bring in pinky at the fourth fret. So be ready for that. But let me say one thing. It can change. So if we say E5, you're going to want a pointer finger, not middle, for an E5, for a rock and roll chord. All right, we'll get to that later. So third string G, A, open, and then second fret's A. You can make a scale with these notes. It's a G Mixolydian mode. So coordinating your picking hand with your fretting hand, if you're brand new, you're not going to even be able to do this, I don't think. If you can, you're amazing. All right, fourth string, D, E, F. Kind of a different shape. Open, 2, 3 for frets. D, E, F. If you add them all together, that's not that easy. So, you know, let's just add a couple more notes on the fifth string, A, B, C. A, B, C. Pretty cool, man. A, B, C. Open, 2, 3. And while we're at it, we better get the sixth string, E, F, G. Open, first fret, third fret. Just like first string. So, yeah, those are the same. E, they're both E's, they're both F's, they're both G's. If you do all the notes, so you're going to have to memorize that right away. And so, the point is, you're pressing down with your fingertips and coordinating your right hand. I'm not suggesting you play it that fast. I just didn't want to make the video, you know, too long. So, now, those are notes. And that will get those fingertips ready to press down. And the notes are going to go way up the neck. You should learn them all. It's not that hard. You're going to get into chords. If you use my chord book, of course, I'm going to mention that because it's pretty useful. I use it every day with my students. The first thing we do is chord yoga, which is like those chords there, E minor 7 to A9. Let's try them. This will give you a little taste of chords like this. So that's an important moment when you hit your first chord. So that's your middle finger, fifth string, second fret. Notice I'm not slamming my pick through the strings, but I'm actually letting it drop. Drop, 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 drop. In a way, that's super. That totally relaxes me. At my lessons, I'm like always sitting there going, you know, I'm just like, yeah, good. Because when we play this stuff, I really relax. I'm listening intensely. I'm paying attention, but I'm very relaxed. I'm not, you know, hyper. I'm calm, but focused. So I'm listening to make sure every string rings out. There's no... Hear those those kind of wounded notes in there, or no buzzy stuff, or no scratchy pick stuff. Everything's just beautiful. That's where I start. Then we got our A. If we take that one string over towards the floor and hit 5 strings, that's an A9. And then you can practice going back to E minor 7. It's a start. Otherwise, if you start with a more difficult chord like a G, you're going to be in a world of hurt if you're brand new, but you can definitely jump ahead if you want to skip over everything, get right into G. That's pointer, middle, ring, pinky. Sometimes splitting those out is like, really puts a hurt on people, but, I have to push them through that. It's going to be the same kind of checking. So when you're starting guitar, you got to make sure you're not pressing too hard. I've got students that really crush, and I can look at their fingers and see their fingers sweating, or I see sweat coming down their forehead, and they're trying to pretend they're calm, but they are really freaking out. All right, there's where you got to kind of blow that tension away. We can't have it. Intensity, focus, yes, but not extra tension. That's not helping us. So it's just kind of like, so with G, you're going to hear it like, and even, let's say the shape looks good and the sound is muted. I still say you get an A+ for just getting your fingers in the right place. Over time, maybe not today, maybe not the lesson. You're gonna go work on that. In a week or two, you'll have that perfect sound. So to me, it's all about playing the long game. Every step of it humbles you, but in a way, you'll build up some. I call it you got some in the bank. After, let's say you didn't practice for a week, you're on vacation or had a bunch of problems, couldn't even practice, you still got some in the bank. You still got some of your old practice will come in. Sometimes you're refreshed and you'll do better. But, yeah, so if I could give you any advice, I would mix up your practice with simple chords. My chord book is reasonable. Get a book of sight reading, then you'll be able to learn melody, and you can definitely look at TikTok or YouTube or any videos you want, or get any book you want, but you have to at least know some chords and know how to relax and focus, and also know some notes. If there's that old joke about guitar players, if they're all kind of ready to go, and then you put a little bit of sight reading in front of them, and they're just like, oh, well, I guess I'm putting my guitar away. You don't want to be completely ignorant about sight reading. It's like at least you'll know half notes, quarter notes, eighth notes, rests, and you'll know melody. You'll know some notes. That's actually a big element of music, melody, like the vocal melody. I was looking at a song with a student the other day. He had a chord chart of a song, and then the same song written out with the standard staff in, kind of a more formal transcription. I'm like, let's look at that. But he wanted to look at the one with the chords, and we were kind of muddling through it. I'm like, not really. And we're trying to sing it, and, we're kind of like not sure. And then I go, let's look at the more formal transcription with the standard staff. And we could clearly see the bars, clearly see what chord happens when, and plus we could sing the melody. We could match that with our guitar notes and sing it correctly. So sight reading is actually pretty cool if you can keep up with just a little bit of that. Keep looking at TikTok, keep looking at the chord book. Strumming is huge, scales are huge, riffs are magnificent and wonderful. So you really want to work on a lot of things, which is overwhelming. Let me say it again: chords, sight reading, riffs, scales. Throw power chords in there, arpeggios. That's a lot. It really takes time. So the reason guitar is so hard is you just have to coordinate both hands. This hand does the pressing down, this hand does the strumming, and then you all have to, coordinate it with timing. That's asking a lot, but the rewards are incredible. If I didn't have guitar, I don't know, I'd probably be a school teacher or who knows what. I don't know. Maybe I'd work with bricks, all good stuff. Maybe I'd sell insurance. I might just mow lawns and shovel snow. I have no idea if I didn't have a career doing music. I might work with people with disabilities. I've done that. But I really can't imagine my life without guitar. So it's really important that it's important to me that you enjoy your guitar. I actually want to share all the good things that guitar has given me. I want you to have your own version of that. So that's why I'm a passionate champion of the guitar. I actually love to see people make progress. I've got peers that surpass me, and I'm happy. I really truly am. Sometimes I'm like, well, why am I just sitting here? No, I do well enough with my little tiny music career, but I actually am happy to see other people have success too. So, well, there you go. Guitar, not that easy, but just take little steps every day. Sight reading, chords, strumming, timing. It will all come together. But it might take you, sometimes it takes, like a student might just be thinking about it for a long time before they really start playing the thing. So don't put that off too long. Just get in there and start working your hands. So your hands have to actually, it's physical, it's mental, and it's almost like spiritual. The way you feel about it is really important. All right, that's enough of that, but thanks a lot. And if you could subscribe, that would be awesome. If you want to give me a thumbs up or leave a comment, that helps my algorithm. I might make 50 cents off this video if I'm lucky. So thanks. Take care.